pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We'll do our roll call. Nathan Grimes.
Present.
Mayor Hodges and Donna Coomer are present in person, and then we do have Ryan Hoskins joining us via Zoom. For that reason, we will be doing roll call vote on any action items that we take today, and we are able to both see and hear him, so we are in compliance. We have our agenda that's been provided, and we entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Nathan Grimes. Second by Ryan Hoskins. Any questions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, I just have it. I even said it, we're gonna do roll call and then it's just have it. So Nathan?
Aye.
Ryan? And I'm a yes, so that's unanimous approval. Thank you. You just get in that swing of doing things. All right, we have our standing business. For this particular time, normally I put these things kind of together, but we did have one edit that I wanted to speak of, so we'll do this in two motions this time. The first is on the minutes alone. We are doing a correction of our minutes from January 5th. The charge-offs that we had voted on and taken action on were accidentally left off of those minutes. So this is an edited minutes from our meeting on January 5th of 2023 to add those charge-offs in there, as well as our minutes from January 19th and the executive session from January 27th. So I would entertain a motion to approve the amended and new minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Nathan Grimes,
Second.
seconded by Ryan Hoskins. Any questions on that? Almost did it again. Nathan, roll call vote.
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
And I'm a yes, so that's unanimous. And now we will look at our current claims and our payroll allowance docket from January 1st to January 31st. Entertain a motion to approve as provided.
I'll make that motion
I
to
have a
approve as
motion
provided.
from Nathan Grimes to approve as provided.
Second.
Seconded by Ryan Hoskins. Roll call vote. Nathan?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
And it's a yes for me, so that's unanimous as well. Thank you. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment? I don't believe we do. Don't see any strange faces here. Old business. So first up, I will call forward our operator, Tim, to give us an update on Denham Lane. I believe if the board recalls, this is an issue we had going back
Yes.
a year now, so, right?
Yes, ma'am. It was this particular issue predates me. If you had an opportunity to look at your package, you'll see a layout that I've provided. This is the same layout provided to the contractors that submitted. We are talking about between manhole number 1 and manhole number 2, which is referenced as section 1. That is 309 linear feet of what is currently there now is 6-inch BCP or clay pipe. The integrity of this pipe is poor. There has been a point repair again prior to that predates me. We've been out there, the staff and I myself have been out there a couple of different times, have attempted to televise this line. Again, that's how we know that the integrity of the pipe is pretty poor. It is not totally collapsed, and as long as we keep an eye on it, we're good for right now. So with all of that being said, I developed some bid specs, distributed them out to 10 or 11 contractors. We had 4 responsive contractors, and I will reference the memo that I've sent to you in this with the 4 responding contractors totals. Going from highest to lowest, our highest estimate was $268,810. I think there was some misunderstanding on this particular one, simply because at our pre-bid meeting on site, unfortunately, this particular contractor did not get an opportunity to come and look at it. So the other responsive contractors, ranging from 141 to 100,000, were all there. With that being said, The quoted dollar figures are for the replacement of the 309 feet of 6-inch VCP to 8-inch PVC, and the replacement of manhole number 1. So I wanted to point that out, because if you look at the bids, you have to really dwell down to what those two are, because we had a broader scheme of projects that we wanted to discuss at that time, but we chose to just go with these two. So I think it is something that we need to consider. Like I said, right now we're maintaining, but given the information you have before you, I would recommend approval for Dan Christine Excavating in the amount of $100,550 to be awarded the project at the board's pleasure.
That's a hefty
It is hefty.
amount.
It also includes the pavement, though, the
That is total project with restoration of trench only, not curb to curb.
Right, but still.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being absolute most emergent and 1 being we're 100% fine, where would you rank this on needing, how soon we need to take action on this?
Mayor, I think, again, going back to my previous statement, as long as we continue to stay on top of it, check it on a regular basis. We have had to flush it one or two times in the last 6 months to keep it flowing. I would rate it as 6 maybe.
Legal, since this is part of our collection system and the ordinance for the capacity fees allows for the maintenance of our collection system, would this be something that if we have the capacity fees for, we'd be able to fund?
Yes.
that? I know that you had submitted a tentative capacity, quite a large capacity fee response to a pending development.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any timeline of when we might receive?
I do not. I will be glad to follow up on that. I did speak with the second developer on that yesterday, and they said to go ahead and proceed and send them theirs too, which is another 320.
The first one was 380,000?
381, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ryan, do you have any comments? Oh, hang on, we can't hear you on the phone anymore. Did you?
That was my fault. I
Okay.
apologize. I'm kind of on the same direction you're going there with the mayor. I think, if we can get a couple more of those large 10 fees, then it would help.
Do we want to try to revisit this, just kind of keep our eye on that and see, maybe we can contact that developer and see their timeline and get a
Absolutely.
better idea. I would feel better if one of those larger capacity fees came in. I mean, the money is in the fund, but the fund currently sitting at 200,000, so
Yes,
that would
ma'am.
really be a chunk of it.
I'm comfortable with that. I mean, again, as long as we continue to keep a close eye on it, bar any unforeseen things, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, that was one of my list items today, was to reach out to those contractors that are associated with the 2 capacity fees that I have right now and get a status update. We'll be glad to do so.
Okay. Does that sound, I need a motion to table this until further funds can be received, reevaluate month by month.
Make that motion.
I have a motion to table and reevaluate month by month by Ryan.
Is there any issue with people's basements possibly being backfilled or backflowed into?
No, that actually
On this
was,
section?
that's what really brought this to light. Nathan, again predating me, the point repair addressed a backup issue at that point, but that we've not experienced anything with that since then.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, so I have a second to motion, a second on the motion to table for review month to month. We'll do a roll call vote. Ryan?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
And I'm a yes, so we'll hold off on that. Just, I guess, just keep an eye on it and keep us appraised, and if something happens in between.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And then we have an update, we had previously tabled the JTL on-call work order pending the attachment of the hourly billing rates, and those have been provided. So I would entertain a motion to approve the on-call work order. Again, this is a standing work order, that is only used when we draw upon it, and the total amount is $50,000.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
I have a motion from Nathan Grimes to approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a second for Ryan Hoskins. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, do a roll call vote. Nathan?
Yes.
Ryan?
Aye.
I'm a yes, so that stands approved. And then on to our new business. Tim, I'll call you right back up for your operator's report.
Good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
Not a whole lot to really report this time. Things are going well. I know that the attending people might be aware of, but Ryan may not. We had a little bit of an accident this week. We had a truck run into the Highway 62 lift station. Nobody was hurt, thank goodness. The station is currently up and running as need be. We've got one little pump issue with pump number 1. We're getting checked out. A lot of cosmetic. I get the fence. I need to get the fence repaired. Tubby Purcell's helping me with that. We need to check the integrity of the generator switch. That's really the outstanding thing that's going on there. But other than that, in the big picture of things, we got pretty lucky. Nobody got hurt, but the station wasn't just totally demolished. I'm surprised it's taken this long for somebody to run into it, to be very honest with you.
Good. Glad to hear that nobody was hurt in that event. I do know that, Tim, you had anticipated making a request of the board this meeting to address your staffing needs.
Yes, ma'am. I know at previous meetings we've discussed an additional new person, which I would like to request again today if all possible. I believe there's been some budget reviews since the last time we spoke about it. I think our budget is in pretty decent shape, or in better shape, put it that way, than it was, and I would appreciate a consideration from the board to seek an additional person if at all possible.
So to clarify, the request is for a newly added position, raising the total staff members on record at the plant up to 5.
Including myself,
Including
yes, ma'am,
yourself,
that's
so
correct.
4 laborers and yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have a request. This is an issue that we have addressed both in public meetings and as part of an executive session discussing personnel and hiring issues and potential candidates. So we would need a motion from the board to authorize Tim to advertise and interview for a new hire.
Make that motion.
So moved.
Oh, yeah, talked on top of each other.
Thank you.
I guess they're eager to help you, Tim.
Thank you.
I have a first from Ryan Hodgkins. I heard his voice first.
Second.
And I'll have a second from Nathan Grimes. Any questions for Tim on that? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ryan?
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so.
Thank you very much.
If you'll work with, I believe, Brian Smith is available today through email.
Okay.
He will be in the office tomorrow.
Okay.
He has he manages the city's account for Indeed and hiring
Yes, ma'am.
places like that. So you can work with him on
Okay.
getting that
Great.
advertised.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lori Wyatt, JTO, for her engineering report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Few updates for you all. On the treatment plant design, you all did get our 100% design on January 5th. And I guess at the last sewer board meeting, we discussed value engineering. We were able to kind of shift some things around and really hit the gas pedal, and we met with HWC and actually kicked off that value engineering, and had a full workshop yesterday. It was gonna be kind of a scoping thing yesterday, and instead we fast forwarded and had 4.5 hours of a kickoff. So we were able to get that ball rolling yesterday and discuss with them kind of some of the timelines that we've talked with SRF about, which, Ryan, you don't have these. I'm so sorry, I just handed them out. I'll email them to you later. You know, I should have just done that while I was sitting there. Didn't think about that. But everybody else here has them. So we outlined what the timeline looked like for spring pool side by side with what it looks like for summer pool. Summer pool is based off of the best answers we could get from SRF. They have not laid out their definitive timeline. They will not lay that out just yet, but this is the worst case, we'll say. And so this is what we need to hold to. This will ensure that we get in that summer pool. This is what I've discussed with SRF. This is what they have said, yes, this is what we need to do. So that puts us needing to submit our permit application to IDEM by March 17th to allow for their 90 days for review to get approval from them for construction. We discussed that with in the value engineering workshop yesterday, and all parties were in agreement. So we are going to kind of take the approach of a very interactive VE workshop. So it will be a lot of back and forth, and instead of being more traditional where it's, you know, all parties kind of this happens and then we meet and then this, it's just going to be very, very fluid, and we're gonna let it work that way so that we can move as fast as we possibly can. Any questions on those things before I move forward? Because I know that that's a whole lot of information about
So on that note,
kind of big things all at once.
So the board authorized me last time as president to execute the work order with HWC in the amount not to exceed $40,000 to do the full value engineering package with a deadline of April 15th. And I was able to execute that document after legal review and a few edits recommended from legal counsel. So that has been executed just prior to this kickoff meeting we had yesterday. I did hear back from HWC as well following the workshop yesterday. Very complimentary, said it went very well, and that they're anticipating being able to move smoothly through the process as well. So Ryan, since you can't see it, you will get a copy via email, but just so that you know, some of the big dates on the summer pool, because I know, so our biggest concern was making sure that we can hit summer pool, because we have a $12 million contribution from River Ridge Development Authority that we can use, but the requirement is that we break ground in November of this year in order to use that money. And since that is a bond that the River Ridge Development Authority has taken out, that is not something that can be extended if we do not make summer pool.
Correct.
And so I put a lot of pressure on JTL on Monday to say, we have to make, we have to get this value engineering done, we have to make summer pool, because we have $12 million that depends on our ability to do that. And kudos for clearing your schedules and making that workshop happen.
Not a problem.
I appreciate that, I think we all do. So Ryan, so the permit application is scheduled to go out on March 17th, some of the big things. So the advertisement for bidding, allowing a 45-day bidding window, would go out May 1st. The bid opening would be June 15th at a sewer board meeting. There's some stuff from IFA we would get back. And then some other big dates would be the bond approval by the city council would take place at their meeting on July 3rd. That would be the first reading. With anticipation on a second reading at a special call meeting on July 17th. with final execution notice to proceed happening at sewer board meetings, August 3rd, August 17th, and then groundbreaking being able to kick off end of August, August 31st. Assuming a 24-month build, construction estimate for completion would be mid-August of 2025. So that's kind of a quick rundown. Lori will send this to you, Ryan, so that you can see it as well. And then what I have asked is that Bo Zeller receive a copy of this and take it and put it in Frost Brown Todd's model that they had done with us on the timeline that incorporates also when advertising for various things have to happen for public advertisement. I think that's very important for Donna to have as well, so that we're all communicating together, sewer board, council, clerk treasurer's office, to make sure that we don't miss any advertising windows, publication windows, and that everything happens. So he's gonna take that back with him and put that into that framework as well.
Absolutely. And I will say, we did add at the very top of this, you'll see, so out of, I guess at the end of our day yesterday, we were all in agreement that we would have our, beyond the interaction that we're gonna have through this entire process, that we were in agreement that by March 10th is when we would receive the final comments from them.
Okay, great.
And then that gives us like, March 10th, you're gonna tell us like, this is it. So we can take whatever, remainder that has happened. So there should be nothing major that hits us March 10th because we're gonna have been doing it, throughout.
Right.
So March 10th, we should get anything that's lingering so that we can implement those. So we should have no problem submitting for the 17th.
Great. And then I'll give a brief update since we're on this topic.
Sure.
I'll give a brief update for the board on where we are with securing additional funding. We are not going to be eligible at this time for USDA. Remember, I was looking down that pathway for USDA funding based on timeline as well as some other issues with our rate structure, population, those kinds of things. We are not currently going to be eligible for USDA funding on the plant build. It doesn't mean that we will not revisit that when it comes to doing our larger lift station upgrades, but for now on the building the wastewater plant, that is not an option for us. However, we did get very positive feedback on an EDA grant. So we are moving forward with River Hills Economic Development to apply for an EDA grant. That will be somewhere between $2 and $3 million. That has a matching component, but the good news is we already have the match available, so that's not going to be a problem. And we talked to the EDA representatives about how to structure that application to provide them the information they're going to need to fairly evaluate that. That application, Lori helped me remember, we plan to have the information that River Hills needs by the end of February, and then she was going to try to submit that application in March, sometime mid to late, anywhere between the second half of March, somewhere in there. And then she said we would know pretty much within a month after submitting the application if we were going to move forward through that process or if it was just an absolute no.
Right.
So we should have some clue about whether or not we are still in consideration for an EDA by early May. So it's still in good timing for getting some of
I
this
think
stuff.
she said overall it's like a 6-month process, but within that first month, if you're gonna even go for it or not.
Right,
So.
and she is aware of our bidding process that we're going through with this and how to manage that in that area for that application. And then the other thing that we are doing is the RDA has announced that they did a call for applications for approved and obligated projects. So the distinction being there are projects that have gone through the RDA process that have been fully obligated rather than just awarded. So the RDA makes an award, but until that award has gone through the IEDC and Ernst & Young review through the grant portal, it's not considered obligated until it gets a favorable response back and the RDA board votes on that final. So we are obligated. Our $5 million from Ready is definitely available. But there are some projects that went along with the Ready process that might not actually make it through obligation for various reasons. If that happens and there becomes a pool of money available, the RDA has to obligate all of these funds by, is it end of June or beginning of June?
In June.
End of June of this year. So they put out a call to all existing approved projects to say, hey, we have an application for you to be considered for additional funding. JTL has been working on that. I have provided a letter of request and support on behalf of the city for that application, and I think that is due February 17th.
It is. We have
And
it
that's
ready.
pretty much ready to
We
go.
have it ready to go,
Yeah.
and we're gonna send it back to you to just,
Real final review, yeah, so we are submitting that.
blessing.
We're making a big request. We're asking for an additional $5 million. But I believe that our project is competitive, and I believe that it is necessary for the region.
We just lost Ryan.
We just lost Ryan. Can we get him back?
I can still hear you.
Yeah, we gotta get you back on visual though.
Yeah.
We're gonna work to get you back on visual.
Okay.
I think he has to probably join back again.
I think you have to rejoin, Ryan.
All right, working on it.
Good catch. So we will keep the board obviously updated on that application process. I believe that the RDA anticipates making those decisions early, like in March, at their March meeting. Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
think,
March meeting,
I
so
think
it's
it was
coming up
March,
soon.
it was March, see who all had applied,
Yes.
Okay,
and then April
was the decision.
made the
That's right.
final
Yeah.
decision.
So again, this is proper timing for where we are as far as trying to secure additional funding. Okay. Just trying to see if we can get Ryan back on video.
We don't have any further action.
I think it's coming up here.
Okay, I don't think we have any further voting, well, yeah, we do have one more voting action item, so we'll get him back up before we do that. If not, we have a quorum, so we can continue, and he can participate still, just he can stay in.
There he goes.
There we go, okay, we're back in business. Great, okay.
Sorry about that.
Now that we've taken up all the time with it, are there any questions
No.
for me about any of that, or for Lori
Any
on the
treatment
wastewater
things, and
treatment
then I'll
plant
talk
question?
quickly about the other things, and then, so you can actually, while you have Ryan, get your vote in.
Right, okay, I think you're good to go.
Okay, then the other things of note, so yes, Highway 62 was hit by a truck. We were ready to present to you our schedule for when we were gonna have that design finished today, ironically enough. Our plan for that was to review the 100% design with the operator the week of March 6th, to be able to present that to the board the week, at the March 16th sewer board meeting, so long as that is agreeable to you all. I don't know if that is something you all need to vote on, since that is an extension of that work order, to set those dates specifically, and we can go back and have that. I don't know how you all want to do that.
What was the original date that it was supposed to be presented?
I'd have to go back and look at them originally, because we had put them on hold based on,
Right.
we were gonna do flow monitoring and all that. I'd have to go back and look to see where we had extended those and how that all.
Do you know what date you're asking for the extension on? Again, say that again,
I mean, we would present to March 16th.
March 16th?
We would present on March 16th.
On March
Yeah.
16th.
And we're gonna meet with him. We've talked about it, to meet with him on March 6th. I will caveat that with, in the event that it comes up that something happens with this pump station and there is an emergency, we feel comfortable that we're in a place that we could turn those plans over and just be almost kind of like design build. Like we're comfortable enough that we're in a place that we could turn those plans over to a contractor and they could start working and building this pump station with our assistance, to make sure that we're just minute changes at the end.
Okay.
In the event that it becomes a problem from this accident.
So we don't know the exact due date, but we do know that approving it for the March 16th would be an extension of that timeline. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So I would need a motion then, since it has been documented that this would fall outside of what we had previously approved on the timeline. I would need a motion to approve the presentation of the 100% design for the Highway 62 pump station at the March 16th sewer board meeting.
So moved.
We just approved an extension of time.
Just the extension of time.
I'll second.
Okay. So I have a motion by Ryan Hodgkins, a second by Nathan Grimes. Any questions for Lori on that? So we'll do a roll call vote. Ryan?
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so, yeah, we'll expect that on the 16th.
I think before we kind of had to put it on like this floating hold because of the Depot Street stuff, and
Okay.
we just kind of let it linger until we had more information, so.
Okay.
Spring Street again, so I think y'all are about to hear more about this from Tim. Tim's taking over the flow monitoring, everything. The Indian American discharge, all the legal documents have been sent to the property owner for signature. They're waiting, for Jesse Ballou to come in.
Okay. Yeah, I
When he
signed,
comes into
I
the office.
executed our portion of the quitclaim deed yesterday and got that sent back. And I do know that our utility coordinator slash building commissioner, Tony Jackson, had a conversation with Mr. Ballou this week. So I think he was going to mention that those documents were coming over and help hopefully speed up that process and get that done so we can get IW connected. So,
Yeah, they've had them,
Yeah.
and the response was, well, when Jesse comes in, we'll have him sign it.
yeah.
He just doesn't come in very much. So, well, I've requested to know when that might be.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all just sitting there waiting. The plans and specs and everything have been sent to Indian American for them to review, and they're just waiting. The agreed order update based on the value engineering changing timelines and schedules and such. So we will have to submit a request to modify the compliance plan schedule to item once we had figured out what the schedule was gonna be, after the completion of the value engineering. Now that we have this schedule and that we have all come into agreement on this schedule here, I will be updating the compliance plan. I'll send that to you for review, and I mean, as long as everybody's okay with that, I'll just go ahead and get that request back over to them, because the sooner we can get it back, the sooner we can get it over, the better.
Agree.
And then the modeling portion, again, that will continue after we get the next flow monitoring results.
Okay.
And that's kind of the perfect segue for me to say, I think what you're gonna say next.
Any questions for Lori?
Just point of clarification, so the compliance plan modification, you're gonna prepare a draft and then we'll have the board vote on submitting that to IDEM? Is that what you're gonna do?
I think she was saying that she would go ahead and submit that to IDM, that request, so that they could begin to review it.
I would probably just have a motion to give her the direction to do that, just so it's in the.
Sure.
favor.
Do you want to, would you feel better if,
Based on this,
based on our updated timeline and maybe review by me and legal before she sends it?
Yes.
Okay, so I would need a motion then to authorize Lori to submit the request to IDM to amend our compliance plan schedule based on the updated timeline that was presented today for SRF funding, pending final review by myself as president of this board and by legal. That's a long motion, but that's what I need.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Nathan Grimes,
Second.
second by Ryan Hoskins. Do a roll call vote, or do you have any questions on that first? Okay, roll call vote. Ryan,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes, ma'am.
and yes, so that's unanimous. So I'll let you draft that up, send it to me, copy both, we'll both review it, and get it back to you, let you know.
it will need your signature anyway.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Let me make myself a note about that on my notes. Meanwhile, Tim, I think you had another opportunity for us. That's what I'm
Yes,
gonna call it.
One last item, this is in reference to the pending recommended flow monitoring, additional flow monitoring on the 36-inch interceptor. I did distribute prior to the meeting in front of you the proposal from GRIP Incorporated to provide flow monitoring service. I'd like to point out to today, I have here with me Mr. Matt Sersmead, which is a representative of GRIP. As you will recall, in the flow monitoring program last spring, early summer, there was some concerns with some numbers. And we feel like that if we can deploy this particular program, that we can confirm those numbers, or at least get a better understanding, more confident understanding. So what you have in front of you is a proposal for 4 additional meters for right now the speculated time frame is 30 days. It really is very dependent upon what kind of rainfall events we get in those 30 days periods, is whether we get the type of data that we need. Again, if it would pleasure the board, I would like to call Mr. Zerschmied up, kind of give you a rundown of what the capabilities of these meters are. I'm very excited about it. I think the engineering firms that we're working with, which I have spoken with, both Lori and her staff at JTL, and received some very good input on meter locations. In the same breath, I did meet with HWC yesterday to get the same information, and I believe that we're all on the same page of the actual locations, and think that we should be able to get some very viable data. So with that, if Matt could come up and join me, he can give you a little bit of technical information without overwhelming you too much of what the capabilities of the particular meters are that we're requesting to put into the system.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's everyone? So, yeah, I'm not sure what kind of questions I can answer for you. I can just tell you a little bit about, Grip Inc. and who we are, but we've been, in business for 50 years, and our specialty is flow monitoring and sampling equipment. So we really don't deviate from that, and we work really within Indiana, Kentucky, and Southern Ohio. So we've got offices in Westfield, Indiana, where we employ about 9 full-time people, 6 of which are full-time technicians. And then we've got an office in Crandall, Indiana, just down the street here a bit. We have 3 full-time technicians there and a data analyst. So kind of our business model is we work for, really all the local municipalities here in southern Indiana and Kentucky, and really just all over Indiana. But we go out, we do engineering studies for clients. We do a lot of municipality, just standard calibrations. We work for industry. So, but it all has to do with flow monitoring. So our teams basically travel 5 days a week in that tri-state area, and that's all we do is installations, service work, calibrations, and engineering on these systems. So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to point out that specific to this program that you have in front of you today for consideration, again, it's 4 flow monitors, 1 rain gauge. The thing that really excites me about this particular layout that Matt has proposed for us is that we, the engineers and whoever else wants to see, there will be Wi-Fi, there will be real-time data that we can look at anytime. And in our conversation yesterday that Matt and I had while out inspecting some of these sites, if we get this rainfall event that answers all of our questions prior to the end of the 30 days or anytime thereafter, we can say we're good. Matt has agreed that he's very flexible in the time frame that we have. I think it's a very fair proposal. Again, having polled the 2 engineering firms, I think that what Mr. Zerschmied is proposing is very fair.
Considering, Tim, the delay in getting data last time and the urgency that we have to evaluate this regional option in Spring Street Station, will you be an authorized user for this real-time
Yes, ma'am.
data?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you'll be able to have that right then?
Yes, ma'am.
Where will which 4?
There will be 2 meters on the 36-inch line, 1 prior to the siphon at Green Lane Park.
Okay.
1 in the Little Dog Park, which was 2A, which was originally 2A in the previous study that indicated the 6.5 MGD.
Yes.
And then we were really interested to make sure that we kind of mirrored that and see what kind of numbers we get from that.
Okay.
There will be 2 additional meters, 1 in Mini Basin 8, which this is all part of our new Ziptility GIS program that Mini Basin 8 and Mini Basin 9 kind of splits Pleasant Run in half.
Yes.
and it will show us which section might have the greater flow
Okay.
coming from that, which will play right into our requirements of determining what to do with the preventive maintenance program. So, I mean, we're killing multiple birds with one stone here. So, I think it's, again, a good program.
Let's not kill
Like I say, you have in front of you the proposal. It's currently at $9,260.75 for a minimum of a 30-day project, or a data collection.
Where will the rain gauge go?
At the lift station.
Spring Street.
At the actual lift station,
Yeah.
Spring Street.
That'll be a secure location, that's where we usually like to put the rain gauges. And the rain gauges that we do are redundant, is like spring of the year, a lot of times you get a lot of pollen and things, and the rain data, like Tim and I talked yesterday, is just as critical as the flow data,
Yeah.
because you're looking at rain intensity, like JTL will wanna know that when they're doing their modeling. And as far as authorized access, I mean, we can grant that to really anybody, I mean, we'll give the information to Tim.
Sure.
It's cloud-based program, so they can view all the data real time. Our data analysts will look at it at least twice a week.
Okay.
And what we typically try to do is, from a quality assurance perspective, is we try to look at it right before. We're always watching the weather, because of our business, but we'll look at the data before the weather events come in and then right after the events occur. That's typically when maintenance is mostly needed, but otherwise, we usually do 2-week intervals just to go out, check the instrumentation, and do in the field calibrations, or we actually make entries in the manholes. So it's a good rock solid program. I mean, when we've kind of built this model and use it for all the communities around the area over the years, so.
Any other questions from other board members?
If we don't get the rain events we need, do we just go on a day basis
We
after
do.
that?
So the way we've done it, especially for smaller communities like you guys, we just go day to day. And we just need at least a month to recoup our costs from the
Right.
installation, deployment. But after that, like I told Tim, if you get the rain event you need on day 32, you just make the phone call and it stops at that point. We'll just do a daily rate based on the pricing that's provided.
So is that daily rate 30?
Yeah, just take that number and divide it by 30. Yeah,
Okay.
you got it.
I would just say that, when we take a motion on this, we either need to approve for just the 30 days at this $9,260.75, or if the board is amenable, we would need to go ahead and approve that for 30 days, and then have the addendum that if the rain event is not included, it would continue day to day after that. So it's whoever wants to make the motion as appropriate, but we could always review that. I would just hate to, I don't know where our sewer board meetings are gonna fall, that's why I'm concerned about
Right.
just doing the 30 days. If we don't get the rain event, it might be more efficient to have a motion that does that, but also allocates that if a rain event doesn't happen, that it can go on a day-to-day at the director's discretion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense to me, I'm sorry. There is one other thing that I'd like to point out that was an issue in our last, and I've shared some information with Matt. Once we get to the conclusion of collecting data, Matt assures me that within a 2-week period, we can have a report.
Okay, great, yes. That would be very important for us, not
Yeah,
3
that's no
months.
trouble.
That would be great. Okay.
And do you respond to emails?
All right, so, if the board is amenable, I would need someone to make the motion as appropriate, whether for the 30-day or the 30-day, and then pending day-to-day at the director's, at Tim's discretion.
I'll make, go ahead.
Okay, which one are you making? Are you gonna do it for the 30 days, or do you want to do it, 30-day
I got a
minimum?
question.
Okay.
I'm okay with giving him access to do beyond the 30 days.
Mhm.
I don't see a problem with that, but, the contract that we're reading here is just over his CapEx that Tim can, sign off on.
Right.
Day to day would be under his CapEx, so he can
Yes.
sign that anyways without our,
Sure.
am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I just think for the clarity of it all, it'd be nice to go ahead and just have it where he knows he's got the confidence to move forward on a day-to-day,
Yep.
with that.
Yeah, what would the cost be if you went for an additional 30 days?
Be
Same price.
Same price.
So another 9,260
That's correct.
would go above that.
Right.
Yeah, so I think just to be
That's
safe, Ryan, that was a good question, to give Tim the authority to do a motion for the additional 30 days if needed.
I'll make a motion to approve your contract as stated and allow an additional 30 days if needed.
So we have a motion to approve the $9,206.75 for the 30-day flow monitoring review, and then, if that's not sufficient, authorizing Tim to go day to day up to an additional 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a second?
I'll second, but that's $308.69 a day.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
Gotcha. I got you.
All right, so we have a motion by Ryan Hoskins, a second by Nathan Grimes. Do a roll call vote. Ryan?
Yes.
Nathan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that is a unanimous approval. And how quickly will you be able to get this installed?
February 15th.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll start that week, yeah.
good deal. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other issues that need to come before the board? For board members, Donna, you have everything you need from us? Yes. Legal, anything from you?
Nothing this time.
I'm just gonna find that so Ryan, are you good?
Very good.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
I got a motion from Nathan Grimes, he beat you to it, Ryan. I'm assuming that's a second from you, all right. I guess we do a roll call vote on adjournment too, so Ryan,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes,
I'm not gonna argue with you, yep, we're adjourned, thank you all so much. And Ryan, Lori will email you that timeline.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.